Hey everybody, this is Blake from the Splintering.com. I thought I'd try something a little bit different. We have a new theme month for August. It's called 80s August, and so I want to try a new sort of toy thing, a new toy feature that will be a video feature. We're going to knock it off with an 80s staple, a transformer, right? I'm set up on the table, which is new. So hopefully you're enjoying the wood grain, and now the cats have to start running around. You probably hear the little bells running around. They'll probably bother us. They like to jump on the table even though they're really not supposed to. But this is Cosmos. So Cosmos was a Generation 1 Transformer. You can see that he's a green UFO. But I'm not just going to talk about the figure. I'm going to talk about kind of the story behind how I got this guy as a kid in the 80s. So let's go ahead and transform him real quick. He's a very simple, small, he was $3 or $4 back when, so he's not very large. And here he comes. Here comes the cat. Get out. Mama. I don't have my spray bottle ready for spraying cats, so he's likely going to circle us this whole time. So you pop his head up, legs pop down, and that's pretty much it. There he is. See, he's showing his age, not wanting to stand up. But I really wanted this guy. I saw him in the little flyer or catalog, whatever you want to call it. Oh my goodness. That came with the other Transformers. And I wasn't anywhere near a birthday. I wasn't anywhere near a Christmas or anything like that. Something where I would be able to get this guy. And I was young enough that I wasn't, amassing any kind of money, even if it was just a few bucks here or there. So I had to come up with a plan for how I was going to get the Cosmos figure. Let's see if his little decal still works. And my cat is now deciding that he needs attention. But let's see if we can get the color change decal to change. So sometimes these things still work, and sometimes they don't. It turned blue a little bit. I'm not sure if that's coming off in the camera. Yeah, not so much. Anyway, so I had to come up with a plan for how I was going to get this, because I wanted him now. I knew they had him at the store. I think I saw him or something. And so I talked to my older brother. I have two brothers. I'm the middle child. And so I talked to my older brother, and he's like, okay, so here's what we have to do. My parents, when they would give us toys for Christmas and things, would often give us each the same one. So that way we all couldn't complain about, well, I like that one better or this. So the Christmas before this came out, we each got a character named Outback who looked like Braun, the little Jeep, but he was brown and had a different face. So we had 3 different Outback toys. Each of us had one. And my older brother came up with a plan of, if you really want this Cosmos, what you need to do is get that Outback figure, which we all already have one, so we can share if we wanted to play with him, So get that Outback figure and go talk to my younger brother and tell him that what we're going to do is we're going to break the leg off the Outback, blame it on him, say, hey, Mom, Dad, little brother just broke my Transformer, boo-hoo-hoo-hoo, and that they would go buy me another one to make up for it, right? And I thought that sounds like a great plan. And so we went ahead and talked to my younger brother, and he was all in on it. So yeah, that's a great idea. He was young and impressionable. He was probably, he was probably 4 or so, maybe 5. So he didn't know what was going on. He wasn't going to get in that much trouble. See, the thing is, he wouldn't get in trouble. He was young enough that he wouldn't be seeing any repercussions for it, and no one's going to expect him to pay for the new one. So sure enough, we broke the leg off of Outback, which was like the side of the Jeep. Talked to my parents about it, gave them the boohoo story, and my parents did exactly what we expected them to do. I didn't grow up with tons of money, but I definitely didn't grow up poor. I was just a middle-class family, so they had that extra money, but they were definitely frugal. They didn't want to just go buy us stuff. But if you had a broken thing, you're sad, you give them the crybaby face, they would take you to the store, and sure enough, they took me to wherever I saw this. I don't know if it was like a Target or something back then, Back then they had toys at just like the grocery store, so it may have been straight up at, you know, like a Tom Thumb or something like that. And I got this guy. So I was able to get this one through the lies and swindling of my parents, thanks to both my older and younger brother for playing their part. I will say that this is not the exact one that I had as a very young kid. That one is lost to it's either lost or garage saled away, and this one is a replacement that I got in the mid-90s sometime. And actually my younger brother kind of plays a part in that too, because we were all going back in the 90s. We were getting older. We were making a few extra bucks, you know, working little jobs here and there, and we started seeing toy shows come up. There was a used toy store that was near our house, and we started buying up some of our old Transformers. This is before they really blew up in price. And my younger brother found this one. So he would have been about, you know, 15, 14 or so. He found this one somewhere and got it. And I was upset because I had been looking for it and I wanted it. And he wouldn't, you know, I was trying to buy it from him after he brought it home. He's like, no, he's, you know, being real gloaty about it, how he's not gonna sell it. So I really got upset about that. However, not even a few weeks after he bought it, he just gave it to me. So that was actually pretty kind of him. He didn't have to do that. But I think he did just kind of let everything ride as far as having the ability to kind of gloat over finding it and seeing me squirm. I don't know how much he paid for it. I doubt he paid that much for it back then. Again, this is pre the toy explosion. So this is around, I would say 95, 96 or so. But yeah, so this is Cosmos. I think he's really cool. I'm not sure why I thought he was so cool that I needed him right then. It's not like green's my favorite color. I wasn't the biggest sci-fi guy in the world. I think probably it was because as a vehicle, he was so unique. You know, there's nothing that looked, hello, kitty cat. Nothing that looked quite like this, you know, as a UFO. All the rest of them were cars or planes. This is before the movie, so they all still kind of had their more realistic designs. So I think that might have been what made me think that this was one that I really needed, was that he had such a unique look to him. But I don't know. I think he's cool. He's easy to transform. He is small. I don't recall him coming with any weapons or anything like that. We definitely had, in our house, we had some of the big ones that we would get for birthdays. Like I got an Ultra Magnus and an Omega Supreme, that sort of thing. But we didn't have very many of the mid-size ones. We had some Dinobots, but like Jazz and Prowl and the Jets, we didn't have very many of those in our house. We had the little bitty ones and then the big ones. The Omega Supreme, Metroplex. My older brother had Metroplex. He also had Skylinks. So we didn't have very many of the middle-sized ones. But yeah, so I'm rambling now. I hope you enjoyed this story. If my parents are out there, I'm sorry, I lied. You know, they're not going to watch this, but I did lie to you. Was it worth it? Well, no, of course it wasn't, because it eventually got sold off and I had to reacquire him by other means. But I do want to thank my younger brother for giving me this and also for playing along back in the 80s so that I could have the one Transformer that popped out that I really felt like I needed, which is Cosmos. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed this new feature. Again, I'm going to call it, I think, Tales of the Toy. You could probably guess the little nod that's underneath all that, but it is something that I hope to revisit in video form, because I do have a couple of stories about how I picked up some things, and my goodness, cat. Maybe the table's not the best place for this. I really thought that they were down for the count as far as nap time. Okay. But anyway, did you have this guy? Do you think he's a interesting little one? He's about the size of a McDonald's toy these days. And he's not that complicated, but I think he's cool. Let me know what you think about it. Let me know what you think about the story. Do you have any interesting stories about acquiring things, we'll say illicitly or through dishonest means as a kid? Everyone's probably got at least one story like that, right? How you might have swindled a friend out of something, or maybe told your parents something that told a little white lie to get the toy that you wanted, or get something under their nose, that sort of thing. I think there's a lot of interesting stories out there, and my goodness. Okay, now you gotta back off. Now you gotta back off. You're gonna knock my makeshift camera tower over. But that's it. I hope you enjoyed this. I hope you go back and check out the other stuff that we have at thesplintering.com. Again, it's 80s August all month. We're gonna have a lot of August themed content that's for games, comics, toys, and even maybe some other stuff. It joins our repertoire of themed months. And if you aren't following us on social media, do that. We're on Twitter, Gab, Parler, all of them. Anything that shows up, I join up on there. Instagram, Facebook. So you can follow us there. And certainly do the video thing where you like and subscribe if you haven't done that. I am trying to do a little bit more video stuff. I know I'm not very consistent. I will never make the videos a livelihood. But rambling again. Thanks for watching. This was Cosmos. This was fun. I wish the cat hadn't been so persistent, but he's a sweetheart. What can I say? Y'all have a good one. Have a great 80s August.